Hi, my name is Corey, and on this channel, I'll be documenting everything I do with my Generation 3 Chevy Silverado, from car audio upgrades to mods, and I'll even let you know about any mechanical or operating issues I run into. In my previous video, I previewed the JL Audio C1 series speakers that I'll be installing in this project. If you missed that video, feel free to go back and take a look. For now, let's go ahead and get this project started, get into part 1 of this series, and get those rear door speakers upgraded. To begin, we'll need to remove the rear inner door panel. There are 4 7mm bolts to remove and 2 trim pieces, so we'll need a 7mm socket tool, a pick to remove the covers, and a pry tool to release the clips. We may also want something such as a magnet cup or a Ziploc bag to keep all the bolts in one place. Let's start by using a pry tool or a pick to remove the inside handle cap. There's a notch in the lower right hand corner. After that, go ahead and remove the cap from the inside door grab. Using the 7mm socket tool, remove the bolts from the door handle. Also, remove the 2 bolts from the door grab. We have one more 7mm bolt to remove at the bottom of the inner door panel. For the most part, this is a very easy process. Like I said, anyone can do it. You just need some household tools and a little bit of patience. Next, let's get that door panel off. Using a pry tool, pry the inner door panel away from the door frame. Gently pull the inner door panel away from the door, and after all the clips are loose, pull straight up on the door panel to release it. You can see here in the footage I'm having a little bit of troubles getting the door panel off. That's because when I was doing it, I was pulling the door panel towards my body. So, as soon as I lifted it straight up, you can see that it was easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna let the footage roll for a minute just so you can see exactly, what it took to get this door off. So sometimes when we over edit, it just makes the process look more simpler than it is. It is a simple process, but you need to know some of the little nuances that you might run into. Release the door latch cable and then the electrical door wiring harness. At this point, if you don't plan on doing any type of sound treatment, you're all set. You can skip ahead to the portion of the video where I'll show you how to mount your speaker and get it prepared for installation. What I'm doing here is removing the door trim panel bracket. There are just 2 7mm bolts to remove. If you're keeping track, so far we removed 6 bolts in all. There will be a total of 7 bolts on each of the rear doors. Remove the water deflector. I plan on reinstalling my OEM water deflector for the time being, so I am being careful to leave the rubber sealant in place. This water deflector is definitely a possible source of vibration, so I may decide to replace it with an appropriate water-resistant sound treatment upgrade in a future phase. You do need to have some type of moisture barrier in place, so if yours is in bad shape, then go ahead and replace it with the newer one. Pull the speaker bracket off and release the wiring harness. Notice how even the temporary speaker bracket has foam tape separating the speaker from the bracket and separating the speaker bracket from the door. You will at minimum want to do this to prevent bone on bone that will lead to rattling when your music starts playing. That's it. We now have our rear door torn down and ready for sound treatment. Before I close out this segment, let's go inside and get the speaker prepped and mounted. As I mentioned before, I recommend picking up some Tessa tape and foam tape prior to your installation. I actually did get the Tessa tape, but didn't think about the foam tape when I was buying my speakers. I purchased these speakers from Crutchfield, so they provided the correct speaker bracket and wiring harness. I couldn't find any foam tape locally and couldn't wait on Amazon another day, so I picked up some 3M double-sided tape at AutoZone. What I'm doing here is wrapping the speaker harness in Tessa tape, just for that finished professional look. I know it's never going to be seen again, but still. I've learned Tessa tape is pretty hard to unwind once it's stuck to itself, so make sure you can plug in the speaker before wrapping the end of the wiring harness. Next, I'm going to apply 3M double-sided tape to the top of the speaker bracket where the speaker will rest on. If this method causes any problems such as rattling, I'll remove the double-sided tape and add foam in a later phase of the project. One benefit of using double-sided tape is the speaker stayed in place, making screwing to the bracket much easier. Peel that baloney ring off the double-sided tape and then mount the speaker, making sure the screw holes are perfectly aligned. Double-sided tape alone won't hold the speaker, so be sure to fasten the speaker to the bracket using the supplied screws and speed nuts. It may seem the speed nuts are too big, but you can see I'm exaggerating the angle of the screw. If you start the screw at a steep angle, you won't have any issues using the supplied hardware. If you made it to this part of the video, I hope you found value in it along the way. If so, please consider giving this video a like and also subscribe to follow this build. After I get phase 1 complete, I will need your help in deciding on what direction to go with subs, amps, and signal processing. In the next video, I'll do some sound treatment to the rear door, put everything back together, and then move on to the front 6x9s and tweeters. So until next time, I'll leave you with a little speaker flex off the stock head unit. Hey! Oh, yeah.